Hi, my name is Robert. This video is designed to give you step-by-step detailed instruction on completing the task at hand. Visit my YouTube channel and watch my disclaimer video. And please like, share, and subscribe. I hope you find the information you're looking for. Thank you very much for watching. I'm about to change the oil on this 2005 Honda Accord. It's a basic oil filter change. This car has a timing chain, which is good, so you don't have any maintenance with timing belt replacements. But because it has a chain, it's very important to change the oil as recommended in the owner's manual. That oil, of course, lubricates the timing chain and the plastic guide that helps keep tension on that timing chain. Here's the essentials you need for doing this oil change. Some 520 oil. I have 5 quarts. You need 4.5. You need your oil filter. I always use the OEM filter. That's the best one for the vehicle. I don't let people tempt me into free oil filters or buy aftermarket filters. You need a crush washer for your oil filter. That's the price of those parts there. If you want to see the price I got. You need a 17mm socket, 3/8 inch drive wrench, some rags, a funnel, oil filter wrench, something to catch the oil in, a couple of rags, and I actually put the car up on ramps when I get under it. Okay, this car has 2 maintenance schedules, a normal condition schedule and a severe condition schedule. Under the normal condition schedule, the engine oil and oil filter replacement is recommended every 10,000 miles or 16,000 kilometers. On the severe maintenance schedule, the oil recommended replacement is every 5,000 miles. Now, what constitutes severe or normal? If you drive the car very short distances and the car doesn't warm up 5 miles or less, that would be considered severe. So you want to change the oil every 5,000 miles or every 6 months. If you drive routinely more than 15-20 miles a day and you can go 10,000 miles in 1 year, that's because the oil warms up like it's supposed to. Now, this is the 4-cylinder Honda Accord, and the recommended oil is 5W20 for all temperature ranges. So do use that. And you can use synthetic oil, which may make your motor last longer and have less issues even with your timing chain. The very back page of the owner's manual tells you how much oil the system takes, which it looks like 4.5 quarts, and that's for the 4-cylinder and the 6-cylinder motor, and it also tells you the weight. So that's a quick reference there for how much oil you'll need. To open the hood, you release the latch inside, then you come right under here, reach under here, pull the latch up, open the hood, then brace the hood open with this support right there. It's always recommended to do the oil change on a warm motor. So if you haven't driven the car in the last hour or so, you want to drive it around a little bit till the temperature on the dash goes up and your motor oil is warm. Before you change the oil, you always want to check the oil level. So have the car on a flat surface, pull the oil dipstick, check the level so you can see if the oil is going low in between changes. This oil is just above the max mark, which is fine, just barely, and it looks pretty clean still on the stick. Next, I leave the dipstick ajar and I open up the cap to let air in there and help it drain out a little faster. That may be just a myth, but that's what I do. And it even tells you the weight of the oil to use on the cap. You never ever want to get under a car with the supplied jack that comes with it that's used for changing tires. You always want to put it on jack stands, on ramps, or put it on a lift. Next thing I do is come under the car and put the oil drain pan under it, and I find the oil bolt, the oil drain pan bolt. Doesn't have any splash guard or anything under it. This is the oil pan. That's the 17mm bolt you need to pull to drain the oil. So let me break that loose and start draining the oil into the oil catch pan. Okay, I bumped the bolt loose with the wrench, and I go ahead and turn it out with my hand and let the oil drain into the drain pan there. Now you got a new crush washer, so you'll be installing a new crush washer. Now I'm going to locate the filter. Now if you look past the passenger tire under the motor, and in that over the axle, you'll see the oil filter there. Now the oil filter has a mild tilt toward the back, so I'm not going to be able to prime the oil filter as much as I want, but I can put some oil in there to prime it. So let me go ahead and prime the oil filter. Alright, next I'm going to prime the oil filter. So I take the plastic off the oil filter and I'm going to fill the oil, and then I'm going to wet the rubber gasket on it so that the gasket doesn't get dry and not make a good seal. If I got a filter that drops straight from the bottom like this, I'll fill this up 3 or 4 times, but since it's on that angle, I'm going to fill it up once. And the purpose of that is I want to prime the oil filter so that it's not bone empty when I start the car, and it may go a second or two without getting oil up to the proper parts of the engine. When you open up the oil jug, make sure you get this aluminum off of the top. You don't want none of that aluminum falling in the motor when you go to pour that into the motor. And that's another good reason when you use a funnel, because a funnel will sometimes catch that. But be extra careful not to drop that aluminum in the motor. I've seen some in there before. Now that my oil drain has come to a trickle, I'm going to go up here and take my oil filter off, and I'm going to try to catch the oil that comes out of there. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and hand screw this bolt back in there, because I don't want to make a mess by moving this oil pan. Okay, fortunate for me, the oil filter was only hand tight on there. That's all it needs to be, and it looks like the gasket came off with the filter. So you want to look at the mating surface where that filter came off and make sure that it's clean, and go ahead and wipe it off just to make sure there's no burrs or nothing on there, and then go ahead and screw the new one on and just put it on hand tight, as tight as you could do it by hand. Okay, I got the new filter on. I always date it, mileage it, and oil weight on it after I get it in place so that somebody look up here, they can see it. And it actually has instructions on it as to how to put it on. You could torque it down to a certain torque value, or you screw it on till it makes contact and do another third of a turn with a wrench. So that's what I did. Now I'm going to pull this oil drain bolt, put the new gasket on it, and put it back in. Okay, to get the old crush washer off, I had to use a pair of pliers to break it loose because it was stuck on there. But you put the new crush washer on there, go ahead and put the bolt in, snug it, and then I normally bump it one time. But if you want to, you could torque it down to about 16, 17 foot-pounds. Okay, after you get the bolt in with the new crush washer, you want to wipe everything down so that when you fill it up with oil and start it up, you'll know if anything's leaking. If you don't put a new crush washer on there, you take the risk of it leaking and dripping in your garage or somewhere, or in your friend's driveway. Also, when you tighten this up, don't put it too tight. Just snug it down real good and then bump it, because if you put it too tight and you strip this oil pan bolt, you'll have a serious problem. A little bit loose is better than too tight. Okay, carefully wipe all the dirt and crud away from your oil dipstick hole in your oil fill hole. You don't want any dirt falling down in there. And then put you a funnel on it and then fill the oil up with the 4.5 quarts. Okay, after you get the oil filled up, you want to wipe off your dipstick real good. Check the condition of that seal. Wipe off your underside of your oil cap. Check the condition of that seal. Go ahead, and I already cleaned off those areas, so go ahead and close that up. Start the car, let the car run 5 or 10 minutes, drive around the block or something till it's warm up. Then park it, let it sit for 5 minutes, then check the oil. You should never really check the oil as soon as you shut the motor off. You should let it sit about 5 minutes before then. While you're under here, check your level in your coolant bottle. Look and see if you notice any coolant leaks or anything strange going on. Check your brake fluid reservoir. Make sure you got washer fluid in your window washer, and then check your power steering reservoir. Make sure there's fluid there. Now, I think it's important to keep these couple of items clean, because if you're ever out and about, you feel the need to check the oil because you hadn't thought about it in a while, If those things are clean, you don't get filthy dirty checking them. Also, if your engine compartment is getting dirty, it's hard to tell when you spring new leaks. So you may want to clean it. Check my video channel, see if I have motor cleaning instructions, or have somebody else clean it so that you can see when things are starting to leak and stuff under your motor. After you do your oil change, it's good to document your mileage and date in the service records. If your book is like this one, hadn't had any documentations, go ahead and instead of at 130, put a 1 in front of the 30 and just start counting from there. So this is at 130,000. The next oil change will be 140,000. Anything, maintenance or anything you do in between, document them in between the service intervals. Then take the extra oil that you have, put it in some kind of oil safe container like a partially used oil bottle. Put that little half a quart of oil in the trunk or in your garage so you can get at it. Check your oil every 1,000 miles and top it off when needed. If you feel that this information was beneficial, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can also subscribe to my channel so that you can get notification of future videos that I post. Visit my channel. I have all types of do-it-yourself videos there. You can leave questions here and I'll try to respond to them as quick as possible. You can also visit my website at robertspinner.com. Thanks again for watching.